Hi there, Regina Sanchez, your spiritual life and health coach, believing in you. Welcome today to my video podcast, giving you a fresh start. I want to talk to you today about a topic, kind of quick, that is a little continuation from what we talked about last week on what are you putting on your body and is it safe? So the topic today that I want to talk to you about is toothpaste. And I've had this box on my desk here for actually a few weeks. And it's been something I've wanted to talk to you about. And I thought, I'm going to do it so I can put it in the recycling once I talk to you about it. But, grab yourself your favorite beverage. Right now, I'm just drinking a glass of water, which actually is my favorite beverage other than my English breakfast tea. So grab yourself your favorite beverage, put this on pause, go get it, come back, and let's start talking. So what is the importance of what you're brushing your teeth with? Sadly, your traditional, if that's the right word to use, toothpaste that you'll find on the counter at your drugstores or your grocery stores, your average grocery stores, are highly toxic, full of toxins, and something that to really reconsider what you are brushing your teeth with, because just like we talked about last week, that what you put on your body gets into your bloodstream really quick. Just think about what you're putting in your mouth and what you're brushing your teeth with, and how toxic it can be. So I ventured off your Crest and Colgates and all of those toothpastes years ago. And I, ventured down the road of using Tom's of Maine. And I had a hard time with Tom's because it was hard, a lot of time, to find a toothpaste without fluoride, because I absolutely was not going to use anything with fluoride anymore. When I had, started to read some studies of really how damaging fluoride is to our body, where it can build up in our body and calcify our pineal gland, which is in our brain, in our head here, and how toxic it is. And so I just said, that's it. I stopped my children when they went to the dentist from getting the fluoride. I wouldn't allow it. And so then I began using toothpaste that didn't have fluoride. Tom's did have a brand, or, a specific one that didn't have fluoride. But it was sometimes hard to find. So, after doing some research, and I honestly don't even remember how I came upon this specific earth paste. It's not necessarily a toothpaste, but I think I watched somebody do a webinar on teeth health a few years ago, and so I picked this up. And I know if you're listening to a podcast, you can't necessarily see what I'm holding up, but it's something by Redmond, and it's called Earth Paste. And this specific one is peppermint. It has no fluoride, no foaming agents, no glycerin, no GMOs, and no gluten, for those that have a problem with gluten. It cleans, polishes, and whitens. And I have to say that the very first time that I used this product, I was shocked at how my teeth just felt polished, really. And I have been using it now for a little over a year. What are the ingredients? Purified water, bentonite clay, non-GMO xylitol, menthol peppermint essential oil, sea salt, and tea tree oil. And that's all that you'll find in it. It doesn't get all sudsy in your mouth, like other toothpastes do, but it works so beautifully, I have to say. I love it. Now, I cannot find this product on the shelf. I can't even find it at Whole Foods. I do buy it online through Vitacost. or Lucky Vitamins. I don't know if I tried actually on Amazon to see if I can find it, but this is the tube that it comes in, and it's a clay looking color. It's not a pretty blue or pure white or whatever. It looks like clay, a brownish color. But it works beautifully and I love it. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So, try Amazon. I don't know if you'll find it. I'll put some links below here, where I get it. I'll give you the link to VitaCost, for it. I'm going to say a tube of this, I want to say it's like $5, $6. I highly recommend it. So why do I recommend it? Well, if you look at your average toothpaste, okay, there are ingredients that you want to stay away from, and that you will find in your average toothpaste. So below will be a PDF of a list of 7 or so ingredients that you absolutely want to make sure are not in your toothpaste that you're using, especially for your children. And the first ingredient is fluoride. The FDA even warns about fluoride. So I recommend you stay away from it. They say that like 90% or 95% of toothpaste in our country have fluoride in it. So it is kind of hard to stay away from. The other one is artificial sweeteners, right? Things like sorbitol. It's a liquid that keeps toothpaste from drying out. But it is like a type of laxative and can cause diarrhea in children. Saccharin, which is another artificial sweetener that you'll find in toothpaste, is known to cause bladder cancer, brain tumors, lymphoma in rodents. So instead they recommend trying stevia, which I don't like stevia, but you're only brushing your teeth with it, or xylitol, which are natural sweeteners. And you want to, the whole sugar thing you wanted to stay away from. So now the toothpaste manufacturers put the artificial sweeteners in it, which are really toxic. I don't really know why you need even a sweetener in your toothpaste, because it's not like you're eating it, right? You're just brushing your teeth, spitting it out. The other thing is artificial colors, which especially if you have a bright blue toothpaste, there's artificial colors in it. And understand that even if your toothpaste is white, read the box. There is probably artificial colors in there to get it to be white, which I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. But artificial colors can be linked to like hyperactivity and so forth in our children. So it's toxic. Sodium lauryl sulfate, which is put in our products to get a sudsy effect, like in our shampoos and in our toothpastes. But it says it is known as a detergent to cause microscopic tears in the mouth, or like canker sores, which can lead to canker sores. So you want to be careful with this foaming agent. Another ingredient is carrageenan, right? It's derived from seafood. And it's used as a thickening agent in your toothpaste, but it's linked to gastrointestinal inflammation, ulcers, colon cancer in laboratory animals. They say while food grade carrageenan sounds safe, it also can be linked to insulin resistance and glucose intolerance in mice. Propylene glycol out of any of your products. This is the main ingredient that you're going to find in antifreeze. And it's used to soften cosmetics, but it can damage your liver, your heart, and your central nervous system. Triclosan. Now, triclosan has been banned, and this is interesting. It's been banned from like antibacterial soap. If you remember, that was like one of the main ingredients into antibacterial soaps. So it's been banned from body wash and soaps, but you'll still find it in toothpaste. So go figure that. And it's put in the product to prevent bacterial contamination. But studies show that it's linked to a decrease in your thyroid hormone, and an increase in antibiotic resistance in mice in those studies. But go grab your tube of toothpaste. Are you seeing ingredients? Now, triclosan is apparently the main ingredient in the Colgate brand of toothpaste. So if you use it, go check it out and see, if this is the case. Let me see, what else do we have? Flavoring age, flavors, artificial sweeteners. There's a toothpaste. I want to say it could be Aquafresh. It's blue. I think it's the blue stripe. And there's little tiny blue dots in the toothpaste. And they have found that those little tiny blue dots are actually plastic. I'm not sure the point of the blue dots in the toothpaste, but if you're brushing your teeth with this specific toothpaste, and those little plastics they're finding are getting into your gums, and because it's plastic, it's not going to dissolve. Your body's not going to dissolve it. It's just going to sit in your gums, and then you can have inflammation of your gums. So it's something I would stay away from. I'm not 100% sure, what the toothpaste brand was. I want to say it was Aquafresh. I don't know. It's been many years since I've known that information, but that's just something to avoid and think about. But, you can also make your own toothpaste with, baking soda and such. There are ways to do that if you really, want to keep your mouth as clean as possible. But you want to make sure you brush your teeth, obviously. You want to make sure you floss your teeth. There was a question posed to a dentist who said, "Do I need to floss my teeth?" And his response was, "Only floss the teeth you want to keep." So I think that answered the question, right? Floss your teeth. I floss my teeth. I have not gone to bed once since I was in my early 30s, so it's over 30 years. I have not, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm not even necessarily patting myself on the back about this. I have not ever gone to bed without flossing and brushing my teeth. And I'm like I said, I'm not trying to brag on myself. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. The reason is when I was pregnant with my daughter, my first child, I developed periodontal disease. And so I went to the dentist and he said, you have periodontal disease. There's nothing we can do about it. At this point, you're pregnant. I'm not going to do anything. Wait until you have your baby and come back and see me. So I did. Went back to him and he felt, okay, I'm so angry about this, but it's over and done with. But he felt that the reason I developed periodontal disease was because there was too much space between my teeth. Now, mind you, my mouth is full of silver fillings from when I was a child, okay? And that's what they used in those days. Those silver fillings are full of mercury. So he drilled every tooth, not at all at the same time. I think he did it a quadrant at a time. I think I went there 4 times. So he took one, bottom, lower, back, top, back, whatever. Removed all of the mercury and refilled it with new Amaglin. New mercury fillings were put in my mouth in my early 30s. And it isn't no wonder I've had mercury poisoning. Because if you do not remove that mercury properly in your mouth, it just gets into your bloodstream. So, over the course of maybe a month or so, maybe 2 months, I had this done in my mouth. So not only was he drilling out the old mercury fillings, filling me with new. It did not take care of my periodontal disease. It was a way for this dentist in Florida to make money. That's all it was. It did not. So by the time I had all that work done and I went back, or I went to another, I found a periodontist actually. Somebody, a friend had recommended a periodontist to me. I don't even remember the doctor's name, in Miami. This was when I lived in Florida. Who I had the worst case of periodontal disease, to the point where it almost was going to start affecting my bones. Okay. Now, my sister had periodontal disease to the point where it started rotting away at her bones. I was not there yet, but on all 4 of my quadrants of my mouth, I had to have periodontal surgery, where the dentist had to cut away the gum, lift it up, and scrape everything down to the roots, everything of my mouth. And then, stitch me up and whatever. And it worked. It got rid of the disease. And he told me that I really better start flossing my teeth. So I listened. Now, shortly after that, I moved back to Connecticut. And I started to develop, sort of an irritation in an area of one of my gums. And I found a periodontist here in Connecticut. I loved Dr. Levine. I was with Dr. Levine he watched my children grow, right? He rejoiced as my daughter went to law school because he saw my daughter, come into the office when she was 4 years old. And he just loved the fact that I homeschooled, and he would always just chat with me. He was a wonderful dentist, or a wonderful periodontist. And he was not of the fact that, surgery is not the answer. And he, went into the whole biological thing of my mouth and why my this gum was having a reaction, and it was inflamed, and, I was maybe on my way to periodontal disease. And I honestly don't remember what he did for me to counteract that, but it had a lot to do with my bacteria in my mouth. And like I said, he explained it all to me, and I don't remember it all. But anyway, subsequently, I went to him every 6 months, for 30 years, almost 30 years. And he cleaned, his hygienist cleaned my teeth twice a year. And I never had a problem again. They would do deep cleaning, and, but I floss my teeth every single night. I do not go to bed without flossing my teeth. So that when I go to the hygienist to get my teeth cleaned, she's like, there is like hardly any tartar buildup, hardly any at all. There may be a tooth here and there that has a little bit, but I really work very hard at keeping my mouth clean and trying to keep the pH balance. That I probably could do a little more work with, but I work really hard at keeping my teeth clean. I do not have tartar that I can see on my teeth. So I floss my teeth. I use this earth paste. And I could probably get better about this doing oil pulling, which is taking an oil, like they say, I use coconut oil, MCT oil, medium chained coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil. So I use that, put it on like a tablespoon of it, swish it around in your mouth for 10, 15 minutes, and then, spit it out into a napkin, not in your sink. Don't spit coconut oil down your drain, because it will just solidify and then clog your drain eventually if you keep doing it over a period of time. But you can use coconut oil, you can use sesame oil, you can use good olive oil. And so oil pulling is a great way to get a good balance in your mouth, clean your gums, and get your mouth healthy. And know that a good gut is going to give you good bacteria in your mouth also. So we are a whole system. We can't just focus on one issue. We need to focus on the whole body to keep the body healthy. I remember years ago taking my kids to the pediatric dentist, and I loved their dentist, their pediatric dentist. I, as a child, had a very frightening experience going to the dentist. It was utterly frightening because I had teeth drilled without Novocaine. Okay, so as a little child, not only does it hurt, but it was frightening. So even to this day, I think I have, just those body memories of sitting there holding my hands really tight because I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore, but I think I have those body memories. But when my children were little and they went to the dentist for the first time, the pediatric dentist was awesome. He was awesome. My children were not afraid of the dentist ever. They loved the dentist. But I remember standing at the counter paying for their visit, and there was a sheet of paper about, what you're feeding your children and what you want to stay away from. And obviously one of those ingredients was sugar, because sugar can cause tooth decay. And what to have instead? Sugar-free food. And I said to the woman at the desk, I said, "Really? You're recommending artificial sweeteners to children?" "Well, oh yeah, well, sugar, you want to stay away from sugar." I said, "I agree that sugar is not healthy, and we really need to minimize it as much as possible, if not eliminate it, but at least minimize it." I said, "But do you understand what the aspartame and all of that and the artificial sweeteners are doing to their body?" And her response was, "Well, we're only worried about their teeth." That said a lot. And it's not only about your teeth. It's about your whole body. Okay? We need to look at our whole body and treat our whole body holistically to keep it whole and healthy. So anyway, I said this was only going to be a few minutes. I probably talked longer than I should. The link below will give you a download of the ingredients to check your toothpaste with, to make sure these ingredients are not in there. And then consider not using this toothpaste anymore. Like I said, I've used Tom's. Tom's does have a brand without fluoride. But I love this earth paste, and so I highly recommend it. So I'll give you some links on how you can find that at a couple of places. So I hope this helps. I hope that you really consider what you're putting on your body as a way to keep your body healthy. And I'm here. If you have any questions, you need help, you want to coach through some issues, I'm here to help you. I would love to work with you, and I'd love to get your family on the journey of health and wellness. Thanks for taking a few minutes and listening, and you just have a blessed and beautiful day. Thanks.